The following program is a presentation of Jez Sports. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the Main Event Podcast. Slight technical difficulties. I realised as I came into this screen that didn't have a microphone here, so I'm like, I could be talking, but no one would hear me.
What a shame.
Welcome on in. Hello, Ali. What the F is this? I thought you'd stop streaming. You are back. Well, once again, I will just lay the land out, and then I'll say what we're exactly doing here. This channel is for Jez Sports, which is the sports arm of what I do. I've stopped streaming like video games and crosswords and all that kind of stuff. But the sports stuff has always continued. It's just returned to this channel, which is now called Jez Sports Live. So welcome in, Ali. We're here to talk some wrestling. Welcome in, everyone.
Wrestling.
Whether you're watching us live on Twitch now, twitch.tv/Jez Sports Live, or whether you're joining us later in podcast form or on YouTube or any of that kind of stuff. Doing a double tonight.
We
so
are.
Right now in this episode, we're going to discuss Night of Champions. When Night of Champions happened, I was just getting started on a 24-hour stream with Don't Get Me Started, and then we're going to go into NXT Battleground in our second of tonight's show, which I was asleep during, even though at that point I'd been asleep for 12 hours already. So there you go. Yeah. Bed at 12:30, up at 7 for a snack. Yep. Back to sleep, woke up the next morning. It went exactly as planned, the sleeping part of it. So that was cool.
That sounds good.
Your mate, this is Dan, my mate, Dan, has a lot of WWE belts. He does. And in fact, there are more than you can even see.
Yeah,
more than you can even see there. There's some out of the way. And some he's trying to sell and all kinds of things. But the most important belt in his collection is the one that sits currently upon his shoulder. Yeah. And that is the Main Event Podcast World Prediction Championship, which is just one of the belts that I will soon be owning.
No,
for those that are here for the first time or haven't been here in a while, we predict many, many events in wrestling, not just in WWE, but AEW, Impact Wrestling, New Japan, and anything else we decide to talk about on this show, really.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a matter of time before we do some other random promotion, but there you go. And it's been a few weeks. The last show we did was Backlash.
It was.
So it's
way
been
back.
It's been a good 3 or 4 weeks since we were last here. And when we left Backlash, the score was me, Jez, 17, you, Dan, 19. So you're ahead by 2 in this quarter.
I am.
But last weekend, there were 4 events on.
There was
2 that we're doing tonight and 2 that we're going to do next week, as long as I can actually, find that Impact Wrestling event, because it's been a pain in the butt so far.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of scope for changing. Yeah. Before we get into the matches, we're live. That's the point of this, is to take conversation and questions from the chat. Ali Law Cubed, that's Ali Law, would like to know if you have the old hardcore belt.
I do not, no.
No. What he does have directly above his head is what was smashed up originally to make the Hardcore Championship. There it is.
There you go.
So the Hardcore Championship was just the Winged Eagle smashed up with a sledgehammer and then taped back together again with duct tape. So he kind of has the Hardcore belt. He just doesn't have the...
I just need to smash that.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the sledgehammer that came with it, if that works. But definitely my favourite era of championship belts around the Hardcore Championship belt era. It's been well documented here in the past that my favourite championship is the Big Eagle.
Yes.
WWE Championship.
You love the Big Eagle.
Which is another belt that you don't own.
And you don't own it either.
No, I don't. No, I really should. If I if I'm going to get a championship, in addition to the one that I won in a raffle, the TNA Heavyweight Championship from the late 2000s, early 2010s, which is a beautiful belt. I do like that. I should probably get the Big Eagle. Yeah.
You should, really.
And there is a rumour, as of recording, that we are getting a new WWE Universal Championship this evening on SmackDown. No longer undisputed, or at least it shouldn't be undisputed.
No.
I've had this rant to you privately, and that they were calling it the Undisputed Championship on Raw. Like, it's not, though. It's not undisputed. It's not. Because there's another World Championship that they've just introduced. So, like, push my glasses up and keep complaining. My imaginary glasses. Like, you can actually do it. But yeah. Right, let's get into Night of Champions. Otherwise, this double show will probably last several nights. It kicks off with the belt that I just mentioned, the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship. First time ever for this version of the championship.
Yeah.
Fought over by Seth freaking Rollins and AJ Styles. Kick us off. Did you enjoy this match?
I did, actually. I thought it was a good opener. Get things kicking off. Set the tone for the night, I thought.
Yeah, I do feel like this should have been the main event, just because it was the World Championship and they were trying to make a big deal of it. I understand why they put it in this spot.
Yeah.
They wanted to put Roman Reigns, regardless of whether he was defending the belt or not, in the main event. I get that.
Yeah.
I felt myself a little bit let down by this match. But I think that is because I overhyped it in my head.
Yeah.
To be quite honest. Like, we've had this match before. I don't know if we've had it in WWE, but we've certainly had it on the indies really early in Seth Rollins' career. And obviously that was incredible because it was AJ Styles 15, maybe even 20 years ago. Yeah. And I think that is the issue. I'm still kind of pining for old AJ Styles matches. And that's an unfair expectation of mine, really.
Yeah.
It's not really fair to put that on AJ Styles. Like, he's still having fantastic matches and can still really do what he's doing at a high level. Yeah. He just can't do things that, 20-year-olds can do, and that he especially could do as a 20-year-old, because that was another level above every other 20-year-old. So it's my fault. I overhyped what was going to happen, and it was the same with I can't remember who it was that AJ Styles faced. I'm like, this is going to be match of the year, and then it was just fine. Finn Balor, that's who it was.
Finn Balor,
when he faced Finn Balor last year. Like, this is going to be the greatest thing ever, and it was decent. It wasn't spectacular, and I think that is where we are now with AJ Styles, and that's good enough. Frankly, he's given us enough.
Yes.
What do you like? Any specifics about this match?
So I did quite like Styles' intensity. He kind of went into this like with a point to prove, because I don't know if you saw the what was it, pre-press conference, whatever it was.
I didn't in the end. No, I'm not a fan of them doing that press conference before. I like it as a wrap up,
Yeah.
So
but Styles really came onto the mic having a point to prove, it seemed, because Seth Rollins wasn't there, and he was the only one there, and he did take a jab at that Seth Rollins is off making movies, which he is. He's in the new Captain America movie.
Yeah.
So
fair jab.
Yeah. So, and he seems to have carried that into the match and just kind of went all out, as it were, I feel. So
yeah, I think AJ Styles did a really good job of making it believable that he could potentially have walked away with the championship. Yeah. I mean, we all knew it was never going to happen.
No,
not even WWE are that indecisive to draft a dude to SmackDown and then a week later just go, oh yeah, actually we're going to move him to Raw because he won this belt.
Yeah.
It was just a bit
a
bit of a strange organisation of the tournament. But I think they looked at the Raw roster and were like, right, what is our marquee main event to determine the champion? that then we're not going to ruin, the next 9 months of storylines before we get to like WrestleMania season and think about drafting again and shaking it up. So we've only really got like 2 or 3 people other than Cody, because we want to keep it away from Cody. So we've got to make up excuses why he's never getting a title shot. So he's out.
Yeah.
So who've we actually got on the roster? We've got Rollins, we've got Balor, we've got Priest, I guess. But that would be a first time for him. I'm running out of former champions already.
And 2 of those are in Judgment Day.
And 2 of them, aren't going to fight each other for a start. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see which direction they go in. They have stacked SmackDown with kind of main event, or at least recent memory main event talent, people that have won the championship in the last kind of 3 years. So I guess let's use a SmackDown guy, knowing full well that he's never going to win, and whatever, that's fine. Things I liked about this match. Starting off with describing the tributes to legends and top champions rather, that's on the new belt. Wasn't aware of that. It's quite difficult to see any of the detail on the new belt because it's just gold shine. It hasn't got that kind of color wash or that dark wash that a lot of championships have to make details stand out. I think it could really do with it, really. It's a bit too polished, too shiny. I liked how even the contest was. It was, you believed all the way through it that either man could have won.
Oh, yeah.
Which is nice. I liked the brain buster on the apron by AJ.
Yeah.
That looked dirty. Yeah. I liked Styles using the pedigree.
Yeah.
Stealing of moves. Things I didn't like, and there was one pretty big one. The referee pushing Seth Rollins' shoulder down to the mat when he was pinned. It's like, just tell AJ the shoulder's up and don't count. Like, don't intervene in the match. There's no need for that. And I didn't like that Rollins kicked out of the pedigree.
Yeah.
Like, cheapened it already. It's a finisher. Okay, it wasn't officially Rollins's. He's got it from someone else. And then it wasn't officially Styles because he stole it from someone who stole it from someone else. But still, the move itself is solid. You shouldn't be kicking out of that. That's nonsense. And that's it from me. Any final pros or cons from you?
No, you summed it up.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was a good discussion on that match. There, fair few things to say about it. Didn't Triple H have the pedigree, asked Ali? Yeah, exactly. That was his finisher.
He did, yeah.
But Triple H is now in charge of creative. He writes the stories, he books the matches, all that kind of stuff. And
Thank God.
Has been a mentor to Seth Rollins. I might be telling you to suck eggs, Ali. I don't know how much wrestling you watch nowadays or whether it's just historic. But, for anyone out there that doesn't know, Seth Rollins was a mentor, really, to... Triple H was a mentor to Seth Rollins, rather, not the other way around. That would be weird if Seth Rollins, as a baby, was a mentor to Triple H as he was doing the pedigree and marrying Stephanie McMahon and all that kind of stuff. He uses it as a tribute. Who is Seth Rollins? Okay, that answers the question as to whether Ali currently watches wrestling. Yeah. He's the new world heavyweight champion on Monday Night Raw. Predictions. We both went for Seth freaking Rollins for the win. What a
surprise.
And that means we start this as the ones, which preemptively makes me sad that we're doing this.
Oh yeah.
We'll get to that a bit later.
Yeah.
Does the Hurricane still wrestle us, Ali? No. He I think he works for WWE as an agent.
Yeah, he's backstage somewhere.
Yeah, like he's come and gone from that position a few times. So I never know whether he's actually in that job right this moment. But yeah, he's in charge of like helping other people put matches together and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Every time there's like an unscheduled brawl between two guys, we see people like him come out and break it up. And it's like, oh, it's the Hurricane. Or Sugar Shane Helms, if you're really going back to like Christ. The WCW days. Hope he still wears the green outfit. He does not. That would really make him stand out. Next match. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. My turn to go first, isn't it? This was a decent match.
Yeah.
Certainly better than the other legend matches that we've had recently. With Lita against Becky Lynch, and then Lita as her tag team partner.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know what's going to happen though now, don't you?
Oh, Lita's going to come back and have another match with Trish at some.
No, it's going to be Becky and Lita versus Zoe and Trish. Have a tag team match, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah, you're right.
It's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh man.
Knowing our luck, it will happen at Money in the Bank.
I hadn't even considered that, and now I'm for the first time and not the last time. I would like to cry. Yeah.
Cheers.
Trish, I remember her. I can't say that. This is a family-friendly show. He got excited for the first time watching her and Stacey Keibler in a gravy match. Unreal. Right. Yeah, the days of gravy matches are gone.
They are long gone.
There's none of that. No bra and panties or any of that kind of thing. It doesn't really carry well into this era that we're in.
No.
But let me say that Trish Stratus has still got it.
She has still got it.
Trish Stratus is a hard name to say, but she still looks great. Yeah. Obviously, it was Saudi Arabia. We're talking about a Saudi Arabia show for the first time, Dan. We should probably have mentioned that at some point, but yeah. And I felt like they kind of leaned into the attire a little bit. They made the best of the fact that they were oppressed and they weren't allowed to show any skin whatsoever.
Yeah.
The Kill Bill attire for Becky Lynch.
I liked Becky's one.
Was definitely really a pro. I've got that in my list.
Yeah.
And even Trish Stratus made that work. I can say this even on a family friendly show without getting in trouble, because they're not really my words. It was noted by my wife how great Trish Stratus's arse looked in the cat suit. Not my words. Not chauvinistic language from me, the man. No,
it was the wife.
It was the wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when she's right, she's right. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Moving on. Other things I liked. The sharp punch to the face to start. Just get that in there. Is that where the I can't even remember where it happened. Where Trish got that bruise that she was showing off on Raw.
Yeah, I think that's probably from that.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Yeah, and then my last pro, Zoe Stark.
Yeah.
It kind of ties into my first con. Zoe Stark and the Z360 kick, pro.
Yeah.
Botched Z360 kick.
Yeah.
And breaking Becky's nose open. That's my first con. But yeah. And then similar to the previous match, kicking out of the chick kick, a finisher.
Yes.
Especially because it was a particularly good chick kick. I mean, the chick kick is often rubbish, it's just a glancing blow. But no, this one really looked good and really looked like it connected. And you kick out of that, really?
Yeah.
Don't like it. So there you go. Anything to add?
No, you're very good at summing up.
There we go. Predictions. We both went for Trish Stratus. No, we didn't. We both went for Becky Lynch. We both went for Becky Lynch. So we don't get any points there, and we're still the ones.
The ones which,
I still stand by my decision to go for Becky Lynch. I feel like that was.
I still stand by it.
That would have made sense, but also I like that cheat to win, heel move by Trish.
Yeah, this Zoe Stark thing. That's kind of
Yeah, it's
I can
worth
get
it.
behind that.
It's justified it.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, says Ali, I actually watched Raw the other night when I was following the basketball. Saw her on it. She had an apprentice against someone else. Yes, this is Zoe Stark that we're talking about.
Zoe Stark.
Yeah. And then the main event was a tag team against a stable of 4 who had to pick 2 people out of it. Yes, the stable of 4 are called the Judgment Day.
Yeah,
and they're incredible.
Yes.
Who did they face? Oh, that was Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. Yeah. So the taller of the 2 men was Seth Rollins that we've been talking about, and AJ Styles, the shorter one. You should remember AJ Styles, maybe. Depends if you watched outside of WWE or not back in the day. Moving on. The Intercontinental Championship. Gunther versus Mustafa Ali. You get to go first.
Gentlemen.
You get to go first for this match rather than, one of the better ones. So have fun with that. Off you go.
I actually wasn't that disappointed by it.
I wasn't disappointed by it, but
no.
It wasn't the match of the night or anything.
No. Gunther was just Gunther. He's always, I think, even with someone like Mustafa Ali, he's always going to give you a good match.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's Gunther. Especially with the way Ludwig Kaiser says his entrance.
Da Ringerer Gunther. Yeah.
He's good at that.
Almost as good as I think it's Samantha Irvin saying Ludwig Kaiser's name.
Yeah.
Ludwig Kaiser. I don't know.
Sounds like saying Mario.
It does a little bit, yeah. It's me, Ludwig. I don't know where she got that from, but it works. Because she does two different complete stylings for the 2 members who aren't Gunther of Imperium. She's like, Ludwig Kaiser. Like she's some kind of troll that's about to give you a quest. Oh, you want the potion? You're going to have to fight for it. Go to the castle and fight the man for the potion. His name is Ludwig Kaiser. And then you have the Giovanni Vinci, and where she basically, you can see her basically going like that when she says it. It's like, Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci. She must be doing that. That's why the camera's not on her. Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci. Yeah.
You've thought about this a bit too much.
I think about a lot of things, Dan. I don't sleep very much.
Well, you do have a child, so
I just lie there awake thinking about how ring announcers pronounce people's names.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be in an era where I'm not thinking for the first time in years, I'm like, this guy, girl, this person is awful and they should just hire me. I'm like, no, the 2 people they've got at the moment are absolutely fine. Mike Rome does a great job on SmackDown. Samantha Irvin does a great job on Raw.
Yeah.
Even I can't remember her name, but the woman on NXT who's very similar to Samantha Irvin in the way that she does things. She's decent too. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I can't.
Ring announcers decent at the moment.
Yeah.
And
good.
And if any of them decide to quit, they can call back the other guy. Hamilton. The guy that they fired for, I don't know, there was something dodgy going on. They fired him. I can't remember what it was. But yeah. She's called Jessica. Thank you, Ali. She is called Jessica.
Okay.
Jessica something. Is it Jessica? I think that's the referee. Jessica Carr's a referee.
Jessica Carr's a referee.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll come to me at some point. Anyway, yes.
Tangent.
This was a very good deflection to get me talking about Ludwig and Giovanni. But what did you think of the match?
Yeah. I wouldn't say... I'm going to give it a good. I'm going to say good.
Okay.
I know why they had this match. Because of Ali in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't going to win the belt.
No, and that's my con. It's a bit like the Zelina Vega in Puerto Rico, the Drew McIntyre in the United Kingdom syndrome. It's like, we've got to get someone loosely associated with the place to come in and lose. Like, really?
Yeah.
You're never going to strike on one of these opportunities, are you?
Yeah.
You're just going to keep dangling the carrot in front of the local crowd. Be like, but you can't have the nice thing. You don't get to see your hometown hero win. No, not going to happen.
I will say one thing.
Yeah.
Ali said that if he didn't win, this is not the place for him or something. You know, he would.
Yeah. It seems like we're going to get a kind of gimmicky change from him.
Well, he's now gone down to NXT.
Oh, has he? I haven't seen the NXT this week. He's gone to NXT.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he popped up in NXT as well as Baron Corbin.
Okay. Well, they're free agents, both.
Yeah.
So they can do what they want.
Baron Corbin took out Hayes.
Okay. Cool. Spoilers for NXT for anyone that hasn't seen NXT this week yet. But
never mind.
Okay, cool. No, I can dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he stood by his guns and he has gone over there.
He's gone to join his mate Dijak to reform Retribution.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, it was a good idea, badly executed, okay? Maybe they can do it right if they do it again.
No, they won't do that again.
They probably won't do that again. No. It got literally everybody fired. Anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
Things that I liked about this match then.
Yeah.
In the pre-match video package, Mustafa Ali wearing a 205 Live tracksuit.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, 205 Live. We miss you.
No.
I miss the original 205 Live.
Yeah.
Not
then it just went to garbage.
Yeah, okay. I mean, not what it became afterwards, but back in the day when you had, Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander, and each of them against Buddy Murphy, and you had Pac, and you had what's his name, SAWFT, Enzo Amore. Like that era, right at the beginning of 205 Live, turning the ropes purple era. I missed that.
Yeah.
But
then after that,
okay. I mean, we've got a World Heavyweight Championship on Raw now. Maybe we can get a World Cruiserweight Championship. And then they have another belt that they can put into the main event.
Yeah, they won't.
They won't, because Vince is still there. And as long as Vince is still there, he will never let anybody under, 210 pounds win anything.
Damn it.
Yeah. He could be in a completely different part of the building, and as soon as somebody even mentions a cruiserweight winning a match, damn it, and whoa, where did that come from? It's just
damn it.
He just appeared out of nowhere. Yeah. I just made it up, says Ali. It sounds better than saying you don't know her name. I mean, I would disagree. I think making up a person's name and passing it off as true would be worse. I'm going to look it up now because it's going to annoy me. NXT ring announcer
Alicia Warrington.
Oh yeah, there you go. Is that what they call her? Alicia Taylor, they call her. There you go.
Alicia Taylor. Okay, there you go.
That's what her ring name is. Perfect. Sorted. Glad we could tidy that up. Anyway, back to the pros of this match.
Yes.
Ali getting big booted off the ring apron and then yeeted into the ring post. That was decent.
Yeah.
And the match was decent enough, as you said. It's just he was never going to win, and it was a pointless waste of time because it was just a filler match.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah.
It did do us well for predictions, though, because obviously we both went with Gunter.
Good.
Takes us away from our sad times being the ones to being the twos. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on. The Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Yeah. Let's get the main pro out of the way first. Asuka won. Yeah. Finally, the reign of Belair is over.
God.
And so I don't know where it's going to go now. You can see Bianca Belair's head poking out of the top of your box there.
I wonder if I can.
You can pretend to be
Where am I?
The other way. There you go.
There you go. I've got a hair.
You've got Bianca Belair. There you go.
I've got Bianca Belair.
Yeah. And then we've got Roman Reigns just keeping an eye on us in the middle. It's like,
acknowledge me.
Y'all better be acknowledging me over there. I'm like, don't worry, Tribal Chief. We always do. The reign of Belair is over. So whether they turn her heel now or whether she's just doing something away from the championship, at least that'll be more interesting. Thank God. And Asuka was dominant for most of it, especially in the early going, using Bianca's hair against her. That was decent.
Yeah.
I liked Bianca Belair avoiding the mist.
Yeah.
But the avoidance of the mist just became a distraction for Asuka. That was good. Some good continued storytelling after what had happened for the last few weeks. And then I don't think I've ever seen this before, and it's been years that people have been using mists, obviously. Asuka spitting the mist on her hands and then rubbing it in Bianca Belair's eyes. I'm like,
I thought that's really good.
That's decent. That's it's not often you see something completely new and unique in wrestling after for as long as I've been watching it, certainly. I'm sure it's happened in Japan before, but I'm a heathen. I only watch the English-based product most of the time, but I'm getting better. On the con side, I've got nothing major. I just feel like this match dragged a little bit.
Yeah,
I can't really explain why, but it just it went on.
Yeah,
could have done with it ending.
Went
a bit
on
sooner.
too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
Nope.
Cool. Then we won't let this segment drag on like the match did. Predictions. You went for Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
I went for Asuka.
Hey.
So that takes me to a 3. Leaves you in my dust. In the wake of my mist. I will spit some mist on the floor for you to walk over.
Even though I lost the predictions, I do not care because Asuka won and Bianca Belair is finally dethroned.
Yeah, well.
So it's a win for both of us, really.
You remember that when the belt is on my shoulder and this match was the difference all the way back at Night of Champions when this match was the one difference. You remember how happy you were that I won.
Shut up.
Next up.
Oh, God.
Back to back. SmackDown Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. And I don't think this one will take us very long because this match did not take very long. Yeah, over to you.
Yeah.
This was kind of a baffling decision, really. I mean,
Natalya's birthday.
Yeah, well, they love to ruin birthdays in WWE. That's always been the thing. I do have some pros and cons for this.
Okay.
I think the outcome of this was inevitable. It was always going to be Rhea Ripley winning. So it was kind of a waste of time having this match, and there's a lot of filler on this event. And pretty much every pay-per-view at the moment. I'm not quite sure what they're doing. And then Natty being face now, I'm like, she turns face and heel more often than she mentions her dad, and that's a lot of times.
I've given up caring.
She's like, Natty's there. She might be babyface.
Yeah, she's just there.
She might be heel. Who knows?
She's just there.
Yeah. Pros.
Yeah.
Dom distracting Natty.
Yeah.
Playing his role. And just the pure dominance by Rhea. If you're going to do it, that's how you do it. Smashy.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. And for this, you better get your childish brain on. Because Rhea Ripley beat Natalya in 69 seconds.
Nice. There you go. I mean, she often makes pins in kind of provocative poses, does Rhea Ripley, so I'm sure she'll be pleased to have won the match in 69 seconds. I'm surprised it lasts that long. If I had to put a guess on how many seconds it took... This is a family show. If I had to put had to put a guess on how many seconds it took for that match to take place, I would not have said 69. I would have said like 39, probably. Yeah. Very brief. Very brief.
Yeah.
But it pads the stats. We both went with Rhea Ripley, takes me to 4, and leaves you on 3. Still in my dust. Underneath Rhea Ripley's boots, probably at this stage.
I'll be underneath Rhea Ripley.
Boots. Next up, the pre-main event, or if you're WWE, the second of 3 main events.
Yeah.
On a card that was 6 matches long, so it was half main events, was it? Come on now.
Yeah.
Don't be dumb. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar.
Again.
It was decent. Yeah, it was kind of much of a muchness compared to the last one. It was pretty similar. They had this Cody's got a broken arm thing to go with it.
Oh yeah, his broken arm.
Yeah. And it's like his reason that he lost, he had to lose, so the reason for it rather than yeah. There were moments in this match I'm like, oh, he's gonna bloody win, isn't he? Cody Rhodes is going to win this, and he's going to be Super Cody, and it's just going to be, Roman Reigns of the past and John Cena of the past and Hulk Hogan of the past. I'm like, I can't do this. I like Cody Rhodes. I don't want to not like him because he's been given this stupid super gimmick, and so at least he lost. And like, if he'd have won, I'd have been like, oh, this is ridiculous. This is terrible storytelling, but it's fine. It's decent enough. I do think, though, and this is my con, he should have passed out after the first Kimura.
Yeah.
It should have just happened off the bat, Like,
he was nearly there anyway, so...
Yes. Yeah, he was. But I liked him using the cast as a weapon, and I liked that it was a pass-out end. Yeah. I liked that was a way of getting it done without kind of weakening Cody and while still making Brock look like a beast. Yeah. And we're probably going to get it again, and maybe even up the road from me in the O2, which is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, neither of us have got tickets, despite our best efforts. But
I know we were like hunting for them, but
I've tried my level best to get into this event, and I'm not done yet. I'm still resolute. I'm going to get in. I'm going to find a way.
But when you do, let me know.
Well, if I can drag you along with me, I will. But even if I have to get in on my own, and I have to perform certain favors, then I will. Anybody out there who's got a ticket and you like what you see, hit me up. Predictions.
Moving on.
Brock Lesnar for the win was both of our predictions, so it takes me to a 5 and it brings you to a 4.
4 horsemen.
Both doing quite well in general in this event, but I will say coming into the main event that I am on a perfect sweep. Nothing wrong.
Yeah, all right.
Nothing wrong yet. Just saying. And the main event. The undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Yeah. The last remaining undisputed championship in all of WWE.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Let's get the predictions in first on this, because I feel like this is going to be a more involved discussion. We both went for Zayn and Owens for the win. So that's a perfect 6 out of 6 for me. Bizoom.
Whatever.
And it takes you to 5 to finish the event.
Bad damn.
We'll add those together to everything else at the end. But it's your turn. What do you think of this one?
So this all just boils down to, what do we think of the Bloodline breaking up?
I want to cry.
So do I.
I'm not a fan of it, and
no,
I can't really reconcile my feelings about it, because it can't last forever. It obviously can't last forever, And
No.
we're in this era where stables are actually important in WWE, and that's great. And there has to be a reason that Roman Reigns loses the title eventually. The reason he's kept it for so long is the backup that he's got in his bloodline, his family. But it's just, couldn't we have it for another year, another 6 years maybe? I'm just throwing out time scales. Just keep it for a little bit longer. 6 years, 10 years till I die. Like, that seems reasonable. Like, we're the ones, man. It can't be the ones if, like... I don't like it. I don't like that they split it up. I like the story that they're giving me. If it's gonna happen, I like how it's happening.
Yeah.
And it's been enjoyable to watch, but in general, I'm like, oh, I just want the bloodline. I just want the bloodline. It's taken me years to actually enjoy what Roman Reigns does, and now a part of that is being taken away, and that makes me a bit sad.
Yeah.
Frankly, I've got no other way of expressing it other than it just makes me sad.
Yeah.
And I'll live. It's wrestling. It's not that important, but still a little bit sad.
Yeah.
Anything in the match itself that you enjoyed or hated?
So the involvement of the Usos.
You didn't like that in the same way that I did then at the end.
I'm in two minds of it. I love it and I hate it. Number one, yes, it was the way it happened, misdirection of the super kicks into Solo, all that sort of thing. But then at the same time, as we've said, it's the dissension of the bloodline. You know what I mean? So it's a love-hate relationship.
There is still a possibility that this comes back around again.
Yeah.
And that the bloodline stays together because, it didn't start out with everything rosy in that family. We had a major rivalry between Jey and Roman to kick it all off, really. And, Roman Reigns beat Jey into submission, basically, and put him in line. And that, it was teased, but that never really happened with Jimmy.
No.
And Jimmy is the catalyst to this breakup. Jey is still on the fence. So maybe it's just a way of padding out Roman Reigns' championship reign. He's going to be in a feud with Jimmy for the next few months. Yeah. Culminate it at maybe SummerSlam, and then, you're back in line.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, either of the Usos are going to dethrone him as Universal Champion. It's just not going to be. So, it's a nice story, but I think Roman's got other things he needs to be doing, like, defending the belt.
No.
There was a stat that I read the other day. Orange Cassidy, AEW International Champion, has already defended his championship more times in his 2.5-month championship reign than Roman Reigns has for his 2.5-year championship reign. Yeah.
I saw a stat.
Yeah.
About how everyone loves MJF, say he's all this, all that. He's only defended his championship twice.
Yeah.
In his whole reign. And in that reign, I think Roman Reigns had defended it, like they said, 8 times or something.
Well, and that's MJF. That's the stat for MJF. Even before he was the champion, he was only on like a handful of pay-per-views.
Yeah.
It's just the way that the Uber heel is booked now.
Yeah.
But it just made me laugh that Orange Cassidy is a more fighting champion than the Tribal Chief. But there you go.
Yeah.
Right, things I liked.
Yes.
The ring announcements. Even though after what we said earlier, they got rid of the ring announcer and did it themselves.
Yeah.
Heyman for the Bloodline. Sami Zayn in Arabic for the champs. That was nice. There were lots of things that I liked about this event as a whole, despite it being a Saudi event. I feel like they've given up on these events just being a propaganda machine for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
It's just another event now, in the same way as when they come here, when they went to Puerto Rico. There's a little bit of, oh, isn't this place lovely? But, you would say that. You're not going to say, well, we're here, but it's a bit crap.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't say that regardless of where it was. Even if you went to a war-torn country, like, I nearly got shot today, but it's lovely. You'd say that anyway.
It's great.
Because that's what you'd do. So it's not just a pure propaganda puff piece anymore, which is why we've kind of eased our stance on it a little bit and are now talking about it.
Yeah.
So that was cool, the ring announcements. Roman Reigns avoiding Kevin Owens hitting him on the apron, then jumping Kevin Owens into the ring when he wasn't looking. Like, it was pretty, it was like a nice little, I can't even really describe what happened, but it was a nice little back and forth that they did. This was pretty funny, and it's like totally Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns blaming the referee for Roman Reigns spearing the referee.
Yes.
It wasn't my fault I speared you. It was your fault that I speared you. Like,
yeah.
We love it. Love the tribal chief.
Yes.
So that was cool. And then at the end, after the USO stuff, and I can't say this family friendly, so I'll spell it. Jay's WTF face. Like, he's perfected that over time. He did a good WTF face during the whole Sami Zayn breakup thing, and now he's just nailed it. He's like, so conflicted, so broken inside, so torn in different directions. And his face is how I feel about the whole breakup of the Bloodline.
I feel like he could do some counselling.
He'll definitely need some counselling after all this. Yeah. Anything you didn't like other than, the whole breakup thing?
Apart from that, no.
It was a little slow.
Yeah.
There was some time to fill for sure.
I've kind of gotten used to that with a Roman Reigns match because he does take his time. That's how I feel his matches go now.
Yeah, but then there are certain opponents that kind of come to that level and then speed it up again. And when you look at, the people he was against, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens both really brought the pace up in those matches, especially Sami Zayn, in the incredible match that they had at Elimination Chamber. So, the whole thing felt like a bit like, oh, is it time to knock off yet? No? Okay, right. And that was just the case for a lot of these matches. Like, have we filled our quota? Have we been here long? No? Okay, I'll do some more then. And it just felt a little bit like that for some of these. But, yeah. Right, let's do our overall predictions, and then we'll give this show a rating. And then we'll take a very brief break and come back for NXT Battleground if you're watching us live. Otherwise, you're going to have to change podcast because it's going to be separate things. I finished on 6. You finished on 5. We add that into our scores for this quarter to date. Brings me to... If I can find the thing. Where has it gone? There it is. Brings me to a 23. With your 5, you are on a 24. So you still lead.
Ahead, baby.
You still lead, but that margin is slim. And we're going to go straight into another event where I could have got them all right and you could have got them all wrong, and I take the lead. So you don't know what I predicted. I know what you predicted.
Yeah, all right, Mr. Smug.
Yeah. Okay, let's give the show a rating. I ask you this evening, Dan, on this fine Friday night, as we record, to give me a rating for WWE Night of Champions 2023 out of 5 imploded bloodlines.
I thought it was a decent pay-per-view. I relatively enjoyed it.
Relatively.
So I'm not going to go straight down the middle of 2.5. Does it deserve a 3? I think I'm going to go 2.75.
Yeah, I think I'm there with you. Yeah, it's not down the middle. There was some good things. The matches on their own, on the most part, were pretty decent. We saw some history happening. Asuka winning the title, that was historic. New championship, that was historic. the breakup of the Bloodline, that was historic. And then there was some other things happening as well. So I think 2.75 is fair. I think I'll give it a 3. I think it was slightly better. 3 seems fair. It wasn't spectacular. It was solidly decent.
Yeah.
Dragged down by a few things.
Yeah.
Just pointless endeavours for matches, really, is what dragged it down.
Yeah.
Not wanting to progress storylines for some reason. Like, what are you waiting for now? We're not waiting to get out of the Thunderdome. We're not working towards WrestleMania. Why are you spinning your wheels? Get on with the stories. So, yeah. It's like they focus on some stories and like, oh yeah, there's the whole rest of the card.
That's
just
still there.
Just put Mustafa Ali against Gunter. That'll do.
Yeah.
We'll find someone decent for Gunter soon. Someone who might actually beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And why is that Brock Lesnar? Probably is. So there you go. If you are watching us live here on Twitch, then make sure you hang around. We'll be back very shortly with our next show for NXT Battleground. If you are watching later on YouTube or listening in podcast form, you will have to press like two things.
Buttons.
Yeah. It'll probably be in, the end screen that comes up on YouTube. Yeah. It'll be the next video, or I'll try and make it the next video. I can't make this stuff work sometimes. Either way, do make sure you come back. NXT Battleground is coming up. We'll see you for that then. Or, if you don't like NXT, we'll see you next week for AEW.
Yeah.
Until then, I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
This is the Main Event Podcast. Toodaloo.
Bye.